Okay, I'm going to be solving a math paper for 0607, paper 2, which is for 45 minutes. This is the May-June 2019, paper 2-1. This is the non-calculator paper. So, yeah, these are just the formulas. Now, this is the first question. So, okay, how I would approach this 0.3 squared, well, you can simply write this as 3 by 10 squared, which will just be 3 into 3 is 9, 10 to 10 is 100, and so in decimal that would be 0.2 decimal places. So the decimal over here we will go 1 2, so that'll be 0 point like that, so this will be 0.09. Now 4 by 9 minus 1 by 6 is just simplifying it, so you have to take the LCM. So the LCM is going to be 6 into 9, which is 45. So 4 times 6 basically is 24, minus 9 is going to be 15 by 45, which if I'm not wrong is 1 by 3, because this is yeah, if we divide both of them by 15, then this will be 1, this will be 3, so the answer is 1 by 3. All right, that was a 1 marker and then a 2 marker. Okay, now divide 360 in the ratio 7 is to 2. Let's do the easy one first. So 360 into, let's take 2 over here, and then you divide it by the total over here, which is 9. So this and this will be simplified. 36 divided by 9 is 4, so 360 divided by 9 is going to be 40. So one of them is going to be 14 to 2, which is 80. And I'm going to write this on the right hand side because 2 was on the right hand side. Now if 360 is divided in and the ratio 2 by 7, 2 is to 7, we get one of them to be 80. The other one has to be 360 minus 80. So 360 minus 80 is going to be 280. Of course, you can just do 360 into 7 by 9, which will be 40 into 7, which will be 280. So that's that. Now over here, ABC is a triangle, FED and BCD are straight lines. Now we need to find out the angle EDC. So this is also pretty straightforward. If we take triangle ABC, then angle C is going to be 180. So I'm going to write this as angle C is equal to 180 minus 55 plus 64, like this. So let's do that then, right? 180 minus 55 plus 64 is going to be 100. 50 plus 60 is 110, plus 5 plus 4, 119. And this is going to be 61 degrees. So this is 61 degrees. Now vertically opposite angles is what these two angles will be. So this is going to be 33 degrees, and this angle, which is angle ECD, will be 180 minus 61. So now 180 minus 60 is 120. 180 minus 61 will be 119. So basically this angle D over here is going to be 180 minus 119 plus 33. This is going to be the final answer. You just work it out then. So it's going to be 119 plus 33. Let's just take that as 110 plus 30, which is going to be 140. Add 9 to it, 149. Then add 3 to it, 152. So this is going to be 180 minus 152, which is going to be 180 minus 150 is 30. Subtract 2 more from it, which will give us 28 degrees. So angle EDC is going to be 28 degrees. Now expand and simplify. 4 into 3 is 12, so that'll be 12x plus 4y minus 3x, and minus 3 into minus 2 is plus 6, so this will be plus 6y. So 12 minus 3 is 9x, and 4 plus 6 is 10, so 9x plus 10y. Now, Sacha drove 425 kilometers from home at an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour. So calculate the time taken for this journey. So the formula is simply speed is equal to distance by time. And so time is equal to, okay, let's just write this over here. Speed is equal to distance by time. So time is equal to distance by speed. So we have to do is 425 kilometers divided by 100 kilometers per hour. So the kilometers cancel out to give us hour basically. So this will be 4.25 hours. Right now, we just need to simplify this and write it in minutes and hours. So 4 complete hours is what we are given. So the 4 hours over here. And 0.25 hours is nothing but 0.25 into 60, which is a quarter of 60, which is 1 by 4, is 15 minutes. You can just do 0.25 into 60 or 1 by 4 into 60. This is going to give us 15 minutes because 15 into 4 is 60. So there you go. 4 hours, 15 minutes is nothing but 4.25 hours. Now, the return journey took 3 hours and 55 minutes. They started at 21:56. At what time did they arrive home? So over here, you just add 3 hours first. So 21:56 plus 03:55, right? Let's add the minutes first. So 6 plus 5 is going to be 11. And so we just you have to carry it forward, right? So the system over here in the minute side, it goes up till 60 at its highest. So the simpler way to do this would be just 56 plus 4 is going to be, so okay, I'll just write it over here. 56 plus 55 minutes is nothing but 56 plus 4 plus 51. 56 plus 4 is one additional hour. So I'm just going to cancel this out. This additional hour goes over here. And this is going to the remaining minutes. So this is 51 minutes. Now 21 plus 1 is 22 plus 3. 22 plus 3 is 25, but there are only 24 hours in a day. So this is going to be 0, 1 instead. Okay, write down the integer solutions to this inequality. We divide this into 1 over here and 1 over here basically. I'm going to do it over here. So you divide both sides by -2 and the sign switches. So x is greater than equal to 1. So that is going to be one part of it. So x is greater than equal to 1. The second one is 2x is less than 8. So let's just erase this. That was one of them. The second one, okay, basically when it comes to inequalities, we divide this as 1 and then we take this as 1. So the first one, which is -2 less than equal to 2x, is going to give us x greater than equal to 1. The next one is 2x is less than 8, which means that x is less than 4. And so x is greater than equal to 1 and x is less than 4. So the only integer solutions to this inequality is going to be 1, 2, and 3. So because of this greater than equal to, that means that 1 is included, and then 2 and 3. 4 is not included because there's no greater than equal to, it's just greater than. Next is I don't want to take any negatives, so I'm gonna take this over here, the 2x over here, sorry, and then okay, I'll write it again. I don't want any negative x basically. So I'm going to take this 2x over there and I'm going to take this 14 over there. So I'm going to get, in the end, it'll be division by positive value, right? So 2x, 5x minus 2x is going to be 3x. And the arrow is not pointing towards the 5x, so it's going to point away from the 3x as well. The 14 goes over there to give us -12. And then we are dividing by a positive value, so it's going to be -4 over here. Now, one way to test for the inequality is just putting these integer values back into the inequality. So let's take 1 over here. -2 is less than equal to 2, and that is less than equal to 8. That is correct. Take 2. -2 is less than equal to 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 is less than 8, correct? And 3. -2 is less than equal to 6, and 6 is less than 8, correct? But now if you put 4 over there, that will be equal to 8, which does not qualify the inequality. Now let's take this one over here. X is less than -4. Let's take -10 for example. So 2 plus 2 times -10 is going to be 2 minus 20, which is -18. 5 times minus 10 is going to be minus 50 plus 54, which is obviously less than minus 18. So that is the correct answer. Now, work out this in and write it in standard form. Simple. Over here, 5.2 times 10 to the power 18 minus 2.4 times 10 to the power 17. This 10 to the power 18 can be written as 5.2 times 10 times 10 to the power 17. If you understand that, if you don't understand that, that's basically because this is to the power 1. If they have the same base, 10 and 10, and you multiply them, the powers add up. So this is going to be the same thing. And this 5.2 times 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power 17 is nothing but 52 times 10 to the power 17. So we get 52 times 10 to the power 10 to the power 17. Sorry about that, not negative, it's positive. And then it's again minus over here. 2.4 times 10 to the power 17. Now we can take the 10 to the power 17 common, and what we'll be left with would be 52 minus 2.4. Now 52 minus 2 is 50, and 50 minus 0.4 is 49.6. And so we will get 49.6 times 10 to the power 17. But in standard form, this number over here has to be between 0 and 1. So it has to be 4.96 times, because the decimal is being taken over there to the left, this has to be added over here, which will be add 1, so this will be 18. So 4.96 times 10 to the power 18. That's the final answer. Okay, a map is drawn on a scale of 1 centimeter to 5 kilometers. On the map, the actual distance between two towns is 4.8 centimeters. So find the actual distance between the towns. So this is simply 1 is to 5. So 1 centimeter is to 5 kilometers. So 4.8 centimeters is how many kilometers? Yeah. So that is simply going to be 4.8 into 5. This can be written as in a fractional form as well. Yeah. And so to find the value of x, we just multiply these. So it will be x is equal to 4.8 into 5. Now we need to find out what 4.8 into 5 is. Yeah. So the actual distance is 4.8 into 5. So let's do this. What is 4 into 5? 4 into 5 is 20. What is 0.8 into 5? Well, let's write this as 8 by 10. 0.8 is nothing but 8 by 10 into 5. This will be 8 by 2, which is 4. So the final answer is 24 kilometers. Now, the island has an area of 75 kilometers squared. Find the area of the island on the map. Alright, so this is going to be similarity. Okay, so 1 centimeter is 5 kilometers. So I'm going to write that as 1 centimeter is nothing but 5 kilometers, not 75. Yeah, 5 kilometers. And when it comes to length and area, the length has to be squared. And this over here is x centimeters squared. This is going to be 75 kilometers squared. I already used x in the previous question, so I will write y over here. I'll explain this logic over here, which is squaring the length to get the area similarity thing. I'll explain that a bit later. But basically 1 squared by 5 squared is going to be what? So y by 75 is equal to 1 by 25. Now we just cross multiply, we'll get 1 by y is equal to 25 by 75, and we can simplify it there, or we can just cancel it out over here. And then we get y is equal to 3. So 3 is going to be the answer over here. Okay, now let's explain this similarity point over here. Yeah. So if you have a triangle over here, and this has a scale factor of 1 is to 5, for example, on the map to that. Basically, the ratio is 1 by 5 basically. And when it comes to area 1 by area 2, this has to be squared. And when it comes to volume, this will be V1 by V2 and this has to be cubed. And the easy way to remember this would be that the unit for volume is, for example, centimeters cubed, and the unit for length is centimeters. So to convert that, you have to cube the centimeters, so the lengths have to be cubed. Now the way to do that will obviously be to take the cube root of the volumes, which is something that we have to take, which is something that we have to do sometimes. But in this case, we have to square the lengths instead. Now, factorize this. First thing is take 2 common. So we get x squared minus 9. And x squared minus 9 is nothing but 2 into x squared minus 3 squared. And this is known as the difference of squares. So we'll get 2 into x minus 3 and x plus 3. So this is going to be the final answer. So we have to complete the Venn diagram. We are given A is equal to 1, 2, 4, 5, 12. B is 2, 3, 4, 6, 10. And C is 1, 2, 8, 9, 10. Now, we can basically find out what all is common. The common number between all of these three sets is 2. So in the middle will come 2. Next, 1 is common between A and C. So A and C will have a common over there, 1. 4 is common between B and A. So B and A will have 4 over here. And 3 is common between none of them. So B is going to have 3. 5 is only in A. This is 12. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 12. 1, 2, 4, 5, 12. A is completed. Now B. 2 is done. 3 is done. 4 is done. 6 is not common with anything. So 6 is going to be over here. 10 is common with C. So B is also done. Now for C, we have 1, 2, 8, and 9 because it's not common with anything. And 10 over here. So this is 10. Basically, this one is common between all of these sets, which is A, B, and C. This one is common between A and C. This one is common between B and C. And this one is common between A and B. These two, and these two are only for A, B, and C, respectively. Now find the number of elements in, so each of these individual numbers is nothing but elements. So we call this the number of elements in A intersection B union C not or prime. So the first thing is to work from inside. So what I'm going to do is just erase all of this and just work on this over here. I'm just going to change the color. Yeah. So what is B union C? B union C means that all of these elements over here are combined. So it's going to be B union C. Next is this dash over here, which means that it's everything except that. Everything except that means, let's take blue. Okay, blue I've been using for a long time. Let's take red. It's going to be the entirety over here. Yeah, that is what it means when B union C dash. Now, what is it saying? A intersection all of this. So A intersection all of that means um, this part over here. A and its intersection with the remaining part, which is the red part, is going to be this. And we already know that there are only 2 of them. The 2 of them being 5 and 12. So the number of elements there is 2. So let's go back to blue. This is going to be 2. When it comes to midpoint, is nothing but the average of the x values and the y values. So that's going to be 3 plus 7 for the x values. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 8 plus 0 is 8. Divided by 2 is 4. Now, if you wanted to just check if you were correct, you can simply use the distance formula, which is just the Pythagorean theorem formula, with this with coordinate A and coordinate B and check if the distance you got is the same, which it should be the same. Now next, find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. So the first thing to do for this one is find out the gradient of line AB. So the gradient of line AB is going to be M is equal to, so I'm going to take Yeah. First is change in y and change in x. So change in y is going to be 8 minus 0, and the change in x is going to be 3 minus 7. 3 minus 7 is minus 4. So this will be 8 by minus 4, which means that the gradient is minus 2. Now, when it comes to perpendicular, that basically means that m1 into m2 is equal to minus 1. So this is going to be m1, so minus 2 into m2 is equal to minus 1. Minus minus gets cancelled, so m2 is going to have a gradient of 1 by 2. So the line which is the perpendicular bisector of AB is going to have a gradient of 1 by 2. Yeah. Now, next thing is finding the value of C. So far we have y is equal to x by 2, which is nothing but half x, then plus C. So one point that we know that it has to pass, because it's a bisector, it means that it has to pass through and divide the line AB into its equal sections. And that is going to therefore mean by midpoint. So we just take this point 5, comma 4. And so 4 is that value is equal to 5 divided by 2 plus C, which will mean that C is equal to 4 minus 2.5, which is 1.5, or 3 by 2. And so the final answer is going to be in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to x by 2 plus 1.5. Okay, the sector and the circle have the same area. This is 60 degrees, this is 12, and the radius is r. Find the value of r and give it as a cert in its simplest form. This is also pretty simple. The formula for the area of a sector is going to be this theta value here, which is in this case 60 degrees, divided by 360, which is the complete angle of a circle, right? And that into the area of the entire circle. So it's going to be pi into the radius is 12 squared. And this is nothing but pi into r squared. So pi and pi gets cancelled out. This cancels out. This is going to be 1 by 6, and the next thing is basically r is equal to the root of, I'm not going to write plus minus because in this case it's distance, and distance always has to be positive. So it's going to be 12 squared, which is 144, divided by 6. That's going to be the answer. So let me just try simplifying it. Yeah, so 144 divided by 2 is going to be 72 divided by 3. Now, it has to be in its simplest form. That's why I'm doing this. 72 divided by 3. Let's see if it's divisible further. It is. With 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 is a factor. 9 is a multiple of 3, which means that we can divide it further. But what is it going to be? Well, 3 into 20 is 60, and 3 into 4 is 12. Add that up, you get 24. So this is going to be 24. It's going to be basically r is equal to root 24. So all you have to do is simplify it. Now, what is 24 equal to? 24 is nothing but 6 into 4. What is root? So we can write this as root 4 into root 6. Root 4 is 2, so we get 2 root 6. That's it. So the final answer is going to be 2 root 6. We can't divide root 6 any further because it'll just end up being root 2 into root 3, which cannot be simplified. So that's the final answer in the third form. Now rearrange this formula to make b the subject of the formula. Again, simple, yeah, pretty simple. We multiply this 2 over there and divide by h. So we get 2a by h is equal to a plus b. Obviously, you can expand it, so you get 2a is equal to ah plus bh, and then you can do that way as well. But the simpler way is to do this. Just multiply a by 2 and divide it by h, which will give us b is equal to, just subtract a over there, so we get 2a by h minus a. It does not ask us to simplify it, but if we had to simplify it, just take LCM over here, and this will be like that. Now find the value of log base 25 of 5. This is going to be simply 1 by 5 because, well, here's a formula that I remember. If you have a is equal to b to the power x, then x is equal to log of a base b. So you can write this as, yeah. So let's say that log base 25 of 5 is equal to x. That basically means substituting this formula. A is this 5 over here. So 5 is equal to, b is going to be this over here. So 25 to the power x. Now, 5 squared is 25, and 25 is nothing but root of 25 is 5. So x is nothing but 1 by 2. Or if I were to do this in another way, I'll just rewrite it. Yeah, if I were to 5 squared is equal to 25 to the power x, then that means that 25. Okay, let's not go that way. Simply root of 25 is 5, and root is nothing but to the power 1 by 2. 25 to the power 1 by 2 is equal to 5. So that's going to be the answer. This over here is just using some log rules. So log 63 minus log of 3 squared. That's going to be simplifying it, giving us log base 63 minus log 9. So log base 10 in this case is going to be what it is. And then if it's same base, log 10, and it's subtraction, that means that the value inside is going to be divided. So we get log base 10, 63 divided by 9. 63 divided by 9 is 7. So we get log base 10, 7. And it doesn't have to be in its form, it's just has to simplify it. So I'm just going to write log base 7 because log is nothing but log base 10. Yeah. So if you don't write anything over here in the base, then that means it's base 10, which is what we had over here. So yeah, that's it. That was meant to be a 45-minute paper, and I think I finished it pretty quickly. So that was that. Thanks for watching.